the place to find news, events, and interviews with the Atlassian community's movers and shakers. Because we didn't choose the Jira Life, the Jira Life chose us. Thank you to Revyz for backing us up and making the Jira Life possible.
Good morning, Chris.
Good morning or good evening.
I'm going to need you to bring your A game because I have a bone to pick with you.
Well, just get right into it. Could we maybe do a little warm up? Can we maybe do a little?
Run off the bat. Can
How
I get a bell?
you?
He threw a punch before the bell, ref.
I think so.
Hey.
I'm just gonna reel that back, Alex, and just
when you
say,
make the rules, you set the bell.
I'm all for it. Just, this feels like a trap. Now I understand why you want me at 8 in the morning when you guys are sharp and I'm like, I haven't even finished my first coffee. And I'm like, what's going on?
Part of the
this is the Jerry Springer show. Okay, let's go.
No. That is part of the bone picking I got to do, because how is it that I get you at 8 a.m. when I need you like at 12 a.m.? I need you at your peak capacity here because I feel left out that we're the only show that you don't come in with this. Like, I don't think any podcast you've ever been on is ever going to top the I told him I would never sell and you storm off the screen, drop the microphone.
So you want some drama off the bat. Fair enough. But at the moment, there's a trend of comedians doing a tour of like morning breakfast shows because it's good publicity and it's easy to get on. But you can see they're all night owls, they're all night creatures, so they're really struggling. And they end up saying weirder than usual things, and the breakfast hosts are just like, what is this? So that'll be me today. I'm running on fumes and adrenaline and half a coffee.
The other thing I'm going to tell you is that you make it very hard for us to go shopping without thinking of Chris now. Anytime we see some flamboyant colored article of clothing, we're like, for Chris.
I know, we saw Cerula at Disney. We're like, oh my gosh, that'd be totally good for Chris. They have like the whole Halloween thing going on right now.
I'm still sad I didn't buy you a Mexican wrestling mask. I saw one. Yeah. It was like, what an awesome gift for Alex. But it was at Knott's Berry Park theme park. And I was like, I'm sure there's a better place to buy such things. Turns out not.
So at the summit, I'm hosting an event in October, right? And we're going to do a little debate. And this morning we were figuring out what would our intro songs be because we want to do it like WWE style. And we're all trying to come up with our theme song. And I was like, I'm going to do Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. And they're like, well, that doesn't go with you. And I'm like, well, no, because that's what I'm going to do to you guys.
Just putting it out there.
And they're like, well, that's not fair. But then one of the guys I'm going to be debating with, he's like, well, I'll let you walk over my body if you do dress up like somebody from like Nacho Libre.
Nacho Libre. I think it was called Nacho Libre, the movie.
I may have to go to Knott's and pick up said mask and wear it to said event.
I'm sure there are other shops in Southern California for such things. You don't
there are a lot.
And Lena, just do your branding magic on there, right? Throw some TJL on there, make his aisles or something. That'll be amazing. And
CollabSoft.
Yeah, so for the now we don't know exactly when the show's going to air, in full disclosure, but if you have a chance to get there in October, that sounds like worth the free price of admission.
Yeah. But Chris, since we last had you on, your roles and responsibilities in life keep changing.
Yes, since Old Street, I've been trying to find a new home, and I think I finally found it. It's lovely news.
And so tell us about that. How's this going? Do you have a new, I'm looking at your CollabSoft Ventures. What's the driver here? What's the end game?
Yeah, well, so CollabSoft, people are probably more familiar with Remy.
We're very familiar with Remy this week. He was very active on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I'm trying to stop him. But he asked me if he says, Chris, you're in charge of marketing, so if you want me to stop, like, I will for the good of the marketing. I say, Remy, like, I don't think it matters at this point. Rant away. I just don't think it helps either. It's just kind of a waste of time and energy. And aren't we meant to be working on a new product, Remy? Come on, focus.
Okay, once again, not sure when all of this is airing. So what's the current rant?
Which one?
Oh, get Remy on it. I am not going to speak on behalf of Remy's many rants. Okay. I have enough issues of my own to deal with.
Chris's problems are 7 feet tall.
But no, to answer your question, Alex, yeah, CollabSoft's lovely group of people make cute little apps that do ridiculously well, considering they haven't done much marketing to date. I got involved. We're doing lots of marketing. Things are beautiful. But I've long spoken of the problem with innovation. And as exciting as the era of acquisition was, it did capture a lot of the innovators and entrepreneurs in the space. I think Forge represents a real opportunity to have more apps, but Atlassian Ventures, kind of as most organizations do, sets bigger and bigger targets every year.
Yeah, there's some hoops you got to get through.
Well, what that means is, right, that they used to offer small loans to small vendors, and now they're looking to offer big loans to big vendors. Cool, but who sends the lift back down? And there's a new generation of, as I've heard, they hate being called bedroom developers, but you know, people who it's not their full-time job, a side hustle, who might look to the Atlassian ecosystem that so many of us saw, bright shining light, lots of opportunities, you know, pays for stupid suits like this. And, and I just want to help the next generation of people with ideas.
Are we going to have a Seinfeld moment with your suit?
I don't even know what that means.
Seinfeld, one of the greatest American sitcoms.
Yes,
ever.
I'm familiar
like
with
the puffy
Jerry.
shirts? Is that what you're referring to?
Not the puppy shirt. There's one where Jerry gets like a very expensive coat, and George is like, "How much was it? $500? $600?" I'm walking out of here, and I'm gonna walk out of here thinking you spent $700 on this coat. And he gets to the door like $1,000. You did not spend $1,000 on that coat. So Chris, how much was it?
I bought it in Vegas, and if you're counting money in Vegas, you're not going to have a good time. So I don't remember.
How many commas were there?
Tres comas. Silicon Valley reference. All right.
Yeah. You want to be the Tres Comas Club, not the Dos Comas Club.
No, I have often said, like, you must be mentally ill to want to be a billionaire. There's something right. Imagine having $100 million and being like, it's not enough. That's crazy.
We'll get into that in a second, Chris, because we do want to find out what is Chris's magic number.
Well, because that you can get me to sell another company for? No, never.
You'll never sell.
Won't happen. I'll never sell.
All right, so continue. So we don't like Atlassian Ventures. At least I don't. Maybe you don't.
No, that's not true at all. I actually love them. I was talking to them.
I said me. That's why I'm taking the blame. I'm saying there's so many rules.
You did say we. So I have to jump in there. I had a great chat, both with Phil Braddock.
Before he moved over to Atlassian for Startups.
The new team that's taking over there is fantastic. Look, I genuinely believe everyone should apply for an Atlassian Ventures loan, but they'll be the first to admit they're looking bigger, and not every marketplace vendor is going to scale a business to $20 million. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
But it's so interesting you bring that up, because I feel from our observations in the Atlassian ecosystem that Atlassian is trying to kill off the marketplace.
Wow, controversial off the bat.
No, well, let me back it up with some facts and data, because the introduction of Forge for the mainstream folks, right? Atlassian with Robo, with Studio, being able to do things with agents. I find myself pondering, why would I get an app when I can build an agent to do it for me?
Yeah. So, I mean, this is part of it reminds me of South Park. Lots of references off the bat here, but it's the AI took our jobs sort of thing. Look, Alex, for someone like you, right, who's sharp and can fix things himself, maybe you can make it yourself using Forge. In my experience, I've made a lot of money because the average person doesn't want to think or have to code a thing themselves in Forge. If there's a nice app for it with intuitive UX, there's
in the right price.
Yeah. I mean, start low and jack the price up as people start getting more and more demanding of features. Yeah.
And or it gets more and more ingrained in their daily operations so that they can't unwind it from that, right?
It's sticky, yeah.
But Chris, but your perspective on that reality is interesting to me then, because it doesn't look like it aligns with Atlassian's perspective then, because they want everybody coding, they want everybody forging.
I don't think so.
And explain team
forging,
projects again. Why would they build team projects if they want everybody doing that?
I wouldn't think so, Alex, because they want people to know what's available. But I don't think they want everybody coding, because I don't think everybody will be able to.
Well, they're describing it as you speak to it in natural language, and magical things
But
will
it's-
happen.
But you and I tried it, and it's not that.
Well, reality
Not that
versus
good.
future expectations are two very different things.
And
Future how long?
marketing versus the
Yeah,
actual
with
product.
reality. Like I was
mean,
frustrated with it.
Atlassian have long been, like of a split mind. There's the team making technical tools for technical users, and then there's the team who are convincing HR to run on Jira. And those are two entirely different personas, as we say in marketing, targets and content. And you're probably reading the more technical stuff than me. And this is it. Atlassian is now so big that everyone's experience will be slightly different. There's content and everywhere, and enough Atlassians who talk to 3 Atlassians and you'll get 5 opinions. So
Very different opinions. Yeah, but that's also interesting too, because Peter and Dan, who I'm sure you're familiar with both of those gentlemen from Atlas, help me with their
Advantage.
company name. Yes, Atlas Advantage. Dan and I went at it because I'm like, this whole system of work, this vertical integration that Atlassian's trying to do with, let's go after HR, marketing, sales, finance, all these teams, it's going to fall flat on its face. And Dan and Peter were like, no, it should work. I'm like, how? I don't get how.
So Dan and you went at it because you both have strong opinions and enjoy arguing. So that's why you went at it.
I also low-key think that Dan absolutely hates me.
Really? I struggle.
He's
to
never
believe.
happy when he sees me.
No, he's just thinking of the next thing to argue, and that's his bitchy resting face. That's all. That's
exactly
lovely.
it. I mean, he has come over to my house, so there's that. So what do you think, though? Do you think Atlassian will be successful with convincing non-technical teams to drink the Jira Kool-Aid?
I think Atlassian often gets compared to the new kids on the block. Monday,
New Kids on the Block,
ClickUp, all those guys. Yeah, a very dated reference. Aging myself well now, but yeah, like Monday, ClickUp, Notion, Linear, like the new cool apps. But really, the money they're going after is ServiceNow's, right? Salesforce. So if you compare it to those big, older enterprise tools, that's what they're trying to do, is be an everything platform. And inevitably, as they do that more and more, they will become what they hate. We all remember joining the Atlassian system 10 plus years ago, and it replacing all the legacy platforms that were that, and inevitably feature creep, pleasing the big enterprise customers who will go, I will migrate from ServiceNow if you do these 4 things, and then it just becomes bloated with features, and it becomes just a never-ending quest to appease bigger and more boring companies. No offense to the banking industry, but you make software less fun. We're all yes, please, Sarah.
Yeah. So related to what Atlassian is doing, right? And as you say, the inevitability that companies go through. So when it comes to making apps, I am curious, is it the same thing? Is it start something really small? I know you talked about niche before, right? Finding those niche things, and not that you would want to give the advice or whatever, but like what makes more sense for folks? Is it to, if you were in the States, you might call it like, is it better to be Cane's and we serve just chicken tenders and French fries and lemonade and coleslaw, and that is it? And do you want it on bread or not on bread? Or is it to be that full service menu of items?
Buffet.
At the risk of feature bloat? Or is it just do the thing that makes you the most money and who cares?
Well, for a lot of my peers, it seems to just be let's do whatever makes us the most money, and who cares. I believe there's riches in the niches. I think you should double down and focus. Be the absolute best thing. Look, I mean, half of my business advice is just please read Crossing the Chasm. It's the fundamentals that need to be mastered. But yeah, simply put, like it's always temptation to draw you away from your core mission, and it's incredibly dangerous. And until you're the best damn app at doing one thing, really going to struggle to grow or succeed. There's a point where like your customer base isn't growing anymore, and at which case, yeah, you're done landing, time to expand, bigger and bigger features, like fine. But that really, I think, is just a sickness of being out of ideas. So you're like, okay, well, let's just, throw the kitchen sink at this problem then.
Right.
We were very good. There's always a temptation. There are people that have the Power BI tools, and they're like, oh, like we like your app, but it doesn't do everything. And we're like, yeah, because if it did everything, we'd need drop-down menus, and if we had drop-down menus, we'd become what we hate. So
Yeah.
you just have to have a product owner with a strong enough vision and conviction that they can, resist the temptation to just bloat it with features.
I always had to tell people use Easy BI if you want to have a PhD or two. Use Custom Chart for Jira if you just want to go and get something out of this tool, like today, like within the next hour. But if you want to go, spend the next 10 years of your life mastering something, Easy BI, have at it. I'm not joining.
It's so funny, like how heated that debate with our competitor EasyBI got.
I was gonna say, legally, are you even allowed to say their name after the last debacle?
Legally, I'm fine. In terms of Atlassian, like they'd probably prefer I stop. But the thing is, like, people often meet me and they're like, "Oh, you're a nice guy. I'm surprised." I'm like, "That is a horrible intro. Hi, what was your name?"
It's like you're much better looking in person. Like, oh, thanks.
I was like, for me, I always thought it was fun, right? They were big. They'd been around for decades. They were making tens of millions of dollars, and I was just a little, mouse having fun with them, and I was expecting them to like insult me back, and it always just broke my heart that they just got sad about it. I was like, oh, you guys are making it not fun. Like, this is meant to be a full contact sport.
We just wanted to have a Twitter war, and they got upset.
Yeah, and apparently it's the wrong ecosystem, and these are very earnest, well-meaning people that care what people say about them, right? Like, and I love that. And in hindsight, I was the bad guy. I thought I was just turning a wrestling heel, but for some people, it wasn't wrestling. It was they took it as a genuine fight. I think for that, I'm sorry.
I don't know, because I saw this meme online once. It was like a Taco Bell. You guys have you ever been in Taco Bell? Have you ever heard of what Taco Bell does to you?
Well, medically, I don't want any trouble with Taco Bell's lawyers. Let's
not legally. So allegedly, so Taco Bell is known to cause digestive issues in people's bodies of the bad variety. And so this like plumbing Roto-Rooter thing set up a sign that says that there was like maybe it was an Ace Hardware store. There was like a plumbing store right adjacent to the Taco Bell, and it says, "We fix what they create." Now we find those signs funny when you gotta have a little bit of fun in business.
Raymond's, I'll give him this. Raymond's the CEO of EasyBI. Finally got me back, and it was too slow, but it was such a good burn. You could tell he felt like he'd closed the circle, and it was in Belgium at the meetup we had for developers. Another chance for you guys to plug your event in LA coming up soon.
Atlas Camp. If you can't make it, we're gonna have something similar in Long Beach. Come on down October 22nd to the 24th.
Awesome. But yeah, Atlas Camp in Belgium. And I saw Raymond, and he goes, "Oh, how's it going?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's okay." He goes, "I heard, you still regret selling your company." And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Must be tough for you, Chris, because you can't build anything, can you? if I sold my company, I'd just build another app. But what can you do? And I was so happy for him. He just lit up with this burn he'd had in his back pocket, ready for me. And I was just slow clap. I was like, dude, and that's it. I'm happy. Like, I wanted that. I waited years for him to finally get me back, and he did. He nailed it. He was like, walked away. I was like, good man. Well done.
It's hard though. I would not pick a bone with Chris Cooke. I can tell you that much.
Unless it's maybe a rib,
I enjoy it.
you know.
What? Sorry.
I was teasing. I said, unless it's over barbecue and it's a nice rib, right? And you want to pick that bone and enjoy it. Otherwise, no.
I will tell you, Chris is a master of multiple traits. Like the fact that he figured out how to open up a wine bottle with a screwdriver.
Well, necessity, right? Is the mother.
That's
of
an
it.
engineer right there. I would argue Chris knows how to build stuff. It's just his art's a little different.
We all have our skills. What can I say?
So how's the comedy club going?
It failed. So yeah, running a comedy club is not one of my skills.
So you can't build, you can't attract attention.
You know, last time we were on, I asked you that question, Chris. I was like, "So what have you failed at?" And it was kind of funny. So now we know we've got a solid answer. Or maybe the club failed, not you.
A serial? No, I'll take it personally, and this is why I keep going on. I've had co-founders who've blamed the economy and the market, and you're like, no, take it all on my own shoulders, learn what I can from this failure, and move on. But the main thing I've noticed is it's much more fun being a fun guy in a nerdy niche. No offense, guys.
Low bar to be the fun guy in the nerdy niche. That's easy.
We like to be called nerds.
Lovely. But the alternative is trying to be the organized nerd in a fun industry and trying to manage comedians. Like, I would have preferred to herd cats, honestly. It was living hell. You
know what? You weren't using Jira.
Right?
Alex, I couldn't get them to use email.
I was going to say, like, you would have, you know, your comedians, whatnot, you could treat them as products. Then you need a good, solid product manager.
You just weren't thinking fourth-dimensionally, Chris. And you got to watch Back to the Future.
There are people that can manage comedians, and I doff my hat to them. It's an incredibly impressive skill. But no, I'd have a meeting, and every week, again, it wasn't just comedians, but it was comedians in like a stoner comedy club as well. So every week we'd come back and they hadn't remembered anything that had been said last week. And we spent 20 minutes debating who said what. And I'm like, I just stopped going. I was like, guys, I have a day job where people are professional and do what they're told. Like, this is.
How could you not keep that club going, but instead just create a YouTube channel of the behind the scenes meetings, watching all the people going, what?
Stoners in clubs getting coffee.
Had a meeting. Like, I'd watch that.
You're so right. And honestly, in hindsight, that would have been the play. The problem was I wasn't finding it particularly entertaining at the time.
Right.
But no, real talk, because a lot of people go through this as entrepreneurs. It's always fun to invite the guy on that made loads of money. But, 9 out of 10 businesses fail. Now, I'm wary of that statistic because I don't know how many people just open up the local failing bar in their village, and it failed and it fails again. But still, 9 out of 10 businesses fail. Mostly it's failure, and it is heartbreaking. And a business that gets massively successful, awesome. A business that just fails and bombs, believe it or not, isn't the worst thing. The worst thing is a business that slowly limps along for years, sapping at your energy and time and money.
Like relationships that aren't right. You just stay in them.
Yeah, right? It's outright toxic, right?
Like, because nobody just said, hey, let's end. This has failed. Let's move on. And, I can see parallels with that. So when you get stuck in that situation, or the jobs that just kind of you go with.
Sunk cost fallacy is real.
Oh, Chris. So then what lessons from that did you then take on to come over to CollabSoft Ventures? Like, what draws you back to the Atlassian ecosystem?
Well, two things. One is money. So I have a very big tax bill from the sale of my last company. So yeah, I do actually, in fact, need money. I'm not post post money, as some people say.
Because you're not in the 3 Comma Club. That's why.
That's why I see. Should have become a billionaire, then I wouldn't have to worry about such mortal pursuits. Yeah. But no, genuinely, like it's hard to escape the Atlassian ecosystem. It is the love that I can't turn away from. Like it's lovely. It really is like a wonderful community of people. You know, other than me being rude to the lovely people at EasyBI, and the occasional drama you see in the Slack chat. It's mostly just lovely people building with care and heart. It's a fantastic place to work, and it'd be very hard for me to start in another industry and care as much. I've got great friends here. I understand it, and I still see a future in it. So as uncertain as things are, or because things are uncertain, that's why CollabSoft want to offer small loans to small startups, just to help rekindle the innovation, because I do think Forge should kick off a new wave of innovation. And there's a bunch of people who right now are developing things to solve important problems, but they've got a day job and it's just a side hustle. And I know the difference between, you know, it just sitting on their own private instance versus loads of people would benefit. This is often just a bit of money, a bit of courage, and just the chance to put it out there. So I would love to send the lift back down for the next generation of developers before you play devil's advocate and shit on my idea.
I was going to say, no, you got to double back down a lot of bit of courage, because a little bit of courage is not going to get you over the line very quickly.
Fair. But I mean, you know, sometimes money is the main impediment, and it is tough without it. And so we're offering loans of $10,000 to $100,000. It's not big. I know that doesn't buy you a team of devs, right? If you want that, go to Atlassian Ventures. But what it does.
No, I was going to throw out a number, but I have no idea how much Atlassian Venture gives you.
250,000.
There you go.
That's the lower starting end. So this is what I'm
sell
saying,
yourself to the devil, or take a chance with Chris.
No, buddy, it's a 6% interest loan, which, you know, if you can't build software that grows at 6%, then you're building the wrong thing. Right? This is the joy of SaaS, right? It scales very quickly. Your costs don't. It's a very reasonable loan. And I wish I'd have used Atlassian Ventures more.
And a key thing here, right? You just said loan, not investment.
Yeah.
Right. This
absolutely.
is money that gets paid back. This is not, hey, you took our money. Now let's talk. Right. Now let's direct.
Yeah, I think in both cases, so Atlassian Ventures don't really want to run your company. They don't have time. You do have to send them financial reports, which is fair enough. They'll do more diligence than me and Remy will probably bother to do. We'll just be like, nice idea. You seem cool. Have some money. Because, you know, like, it's fun, whatever. You know, I don't want to become a VC bro arguing with lawyers. So this is going to be very lightweight, very, very simple. You know,
but then that's when you get into the 3 Comma Club. When you become the VC.
Don't want to get there, man. Like, not interested. I've seen those guys. The suits they wear aren't half as pretty. So, and I think, like, genuinely, in both Atlassian Ventures and CollabSoft Ventures, there is an ulterior motive, right? That's the way. What are the strings attached, right? And for Atlassian, they are planning on you not being able to pay the loan back, but be acquired, at which point the loan becomes what's called a convertible note. It converts to equity. And so, again, win-win, right? Right. That's a nice position to be in. And would you have got there without the help of Atlassian's loan? Probably not. So it's hardly taking advantage of people. It's a win-win deal, right? But yeah, with CollabSoft Ventures, the reason we're doing it, right, is because it's a good use of money. I'd rather give it back to the community, pay it forwards, than spend it on Google ads. Google gets enough of my money already as it is. But also, it is co-founder dating. It's hoping that we build these relationships so that we find someone who doesn't just need money, but a bit of guidance, a bit of marketing support, a bit of development support, whatever. And if we find the right fit there, then we can maybe build something together as partners. But what better way, right? It just shortcuts it. Like I've tried these like co-founder meetings and hackathons. You work on stuff, and it's like, look, just let me throw some money at you, and now I have the right to ask every so often, hey, how's it going? And if I can help and support, and we like working with each other, we can grow towards a partnership. But yeah, there'll be no small print in the contract that says they have to do that. And honestly, if we don't like working with them, why would we want to deepen that relationship? It's like, okay, we'll just, pay me back in the next 6 years, and we don't need any further contact. Thanks.
Now, aside from that investment or loan or whatever we're calling it, is there mentorship? Because you clearly have a lot of lessons learned. Is there like a fast track to don't be like Chris, but still be like Chris?
I can't advise someone how not to be like Chris.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Few people want to be like me. I'll put it that way. Yeah, I think me and Remy are cautionary tales on how not to act on social media. So you're welcome to, do the opposite of whatever we do. Not a bad strategy.
I've seen people spend, $250,000 for a couple of hours with a prodigy in their space, such as yourself.
That's ridiculous. But yeah,
that's how you get to the 3 comma club.
Well, no, but this is the problem. VCs are a racket and a pyramid scheme, so that they will lend these companies money and then tell them, "Oh, you have to pay this consultant for advice," and the consultant happens to be a friend who in a company they also happen to have shares in. So that they're paying you money, but then they tell you have to spend it on their friend's company. So, and so in effect, you've given equity for free.
Those aren't called
that happens. There's this myth that like the private is super efficient and uncorrupt, whereas government suffers from this corruption that we've never heard of in Silicon Valley. I wonder which Silicon Valley billionaires are funding that lie, because trust me, it's corruption and inefficiencies all the way up and down in every industry. But don't get me started on those politics.
It is everywhere.
But what happened to the if you can't beat them, join them? Just
that's what the people who beat you want you to think. That's a very good line, isn't it? Like, hey, sorry we beat you and crushed your business now, but we are hiring. Come be a head on a spike to warn the next round of people that think they can challenge us.
So I'm assuming you guys are already doing this, what you're saying, right? Have you had any good cases? I mean, no names or stuff, but any good cases of
what are you most proud of?
people?
Oh, it's very early. So yeah, no, like this press tour is me announcing it. So, I mean, when I sold my company, I just had so many people contacting me with their ChatGPT wrapper. I changed my headline to "No, I will not invest in your AI startup." And AI bots being what they are, because I had AI in my headline, then got much more connection requests asking I invest in their AI startups.
The trolls trolling the troller.
So if somebody could build the app that recognizes the word "not" or the negatives, that would be really nice.
It's a salesman's job to ignore the negative and just power through anyways.
What was that Silicon Valley AI app that they did? Was on the not hot dog, hot dog, not hot dog. You remember that scene? They did an image recognizer and like they take a picture of a hot dog and it's like hot dog, and then took a picture of something else, and instead of it telling you that it was a pizza, it said not hot dog.
That's all it knows.
Investor, not AI investor, sure.
Not enough.
So yeah, in answer to your question, Alex,
I have a lot of questions, so don't worry if you can't answer my question.
I'm happy to to have weekly meetings and advise people. I'm an open book. I keep getting asked, "Oh, what's the secret?" I'm like, I've just had a friend round here for a week, and just every day, just giving each other advice. It's amazing actually, because I started off as his mentor, and then after a bit, I was like, "But this guy is like 20 years old. He's on his 3rd business, and he's doing really well." So I said, "I'm just going to shut the hell up for this week. Can you teach me how you do things?" And I've just sat watching him. It's incredible how much money he's making from webinars. And it's really funny because he's like, it's a tuition class for 15-year-olds, right? To help them pass their maths exams, which are so important at that age, right? But their customers don't have a lot of money, and all these hacks and tips and tricks he's using, I'm like, oh, no one's doing this in the B2B space, and I think I lost a bit of that hunger. You do.
Let's talk about a potential business opportunity. Let me read my current reading list.
I'm just warning the Atlassian community. Nice. I'm about to get a lot more spammy and a lot more hacky. I think marketing has grown complacent, as I call it, nice guy marketing.
We're putting our events. Yeah, we're putting our event up, and Lina's like, I don't want to send emails. I'm like, Alex Hormozy sent out 85 emails in 3 days. You're sending out emails once a week.
I feel so bad. I'm like, I'm spamming people. But I'm like, well, they're not answering to the emails, so I might as well spam them again.
A good one is you have a webinar that is like fake live, right? And you always have a countdown timer. So whenever they go to the landing page, it says, oh, coincidentally, you're just in time. The webinar is starting in 4 minutes. And then there's 2 other options he has where they can book. Nice.
Sabri, that's what this guy does.
Yeah. 2 other options you have where you can then book it for the next day at 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. Or now. Those are the 3 options. And it's things like that where I'm like, I just got complacent. Like there were loads of marketing tricks we missed. And just because we were growing so fast and everyone was patting us on the back. We went, oh, I guess we're great then. I guess I'm a marketing genius. And it's like, no, I want to stay hungry, stay foolish, keep learning, keep trying things. So this is part of the excitement as well of doing the ventures thing and working with, newer people who are less jaded and corrupt than myself.
Is it formulaic? Would you say, is it formulaic? I mean, Alex has got this stack of books. You've got this, things that we should do. Is it formulaic or is it more, I hate to say agile, but does it depend?
It's a very good question. If it was, a simple formula, they always say, then everyone would have done it. But the truth is, people waste so much time on the new shiny thing, and time again, I see the fundamentals not being handled. And the metaphor I always use is sports. Like people are planning this clever, strategy, tactic, imagining what their competitor will do, and they do the opposite. And it's like, okay, but if you can't pass the ball without fumbling it, none of that strategy matters. And so the basics are so important to master. As Bruce Lee says, fear the man that's trained to punch the same punch 100,000 times, not a guy that's read 100,000 books on how to do each type of punch.
Hey, I'm actually doing the stuff in the book.
Sorry, Alex. But and then it does depend.
Chris.
It really depends. And again, marketers who understand the fundamentals will know this. And very often when you come in as a marketer to an organization that's never done marketing before, you'll ask things like, so who is your target user? And you'll get answers like, everyone can use our app. You're like, okay, but that's not a marketing strategy. Like, everyone is not a plan. Who are you going to marry? Everyone. Good luck with that. So you need to choose one, focus.
So that's what I'm talking about. For the folks that you're venturing or investing into, do you offer those tips or do you just kind of let them, he's like, here's 10 grand, go figure it out?
Here's 10 grand, go waste it. This is the joy. I'm invested in their success now, right? So, I mean,
right. So you would think there's some sort of a structure, right? It's more like a Y Combinator type of thing.
Yeah, sure. But like, I don't have time to run 12 businesses, and I have hard-earned experience of giving people marketing advice, which they then don't follow. And that's incredibly frustrating. See the Comedy Club, right? I don't want another scenario where I'm like giving advice and then they just ignore it. So this is why I just want like a weekly check-in, have like office hours, a meeting, talk, give the advice. Do you remember the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, right? Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
Like if you go back and watch that, all he ever says to the kids is he gives them one warning. He's like, I wouldn't eat that if I were you. That's it. And then And I'm kind of the vibe of that. Like, I'll give advice freely. If it's not listened to, okay, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. And I always get asked, how do you find a good mentor? I'm like, the number one thing everyone forgets is just listen and follow the advice. And then that mentor will be like, cool, here's some more advice. But 9 times out of 10, people approach me with mentorship, right? And then I tell them what to do. And then a month later, I'm like, so how's that thing going? Yeah, we tried it. It didn't work. You're like, okay, cool. Good luck then. Sounds like you've got it figured out.
I'm laughing because I go to a team and I present Chris with the problem that I have. And Chris just like tells me, oh, just make them all bid against each other. No, I don't know how to do that.
That is true. The key is, yes, the how. Subject matter experts are often the worst teachers, right?
I'm like, I heard you loud and clear, Chris, and I'm like, how in the world am I supposed to like convince these people that I'm worth 10 times more than the number?
You say you are? You have the courage to?
No, sir, you have no idea. Chris and I jumped on
don't?
a call. No. Chris and I jumped on a call 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 years ago. And Chris is like, I have a brilliant idea, mate. And he's like telling me and Rodney, he's like, we're gonna start a new like services thing with Rodney and I selling our brands to be like the ultimate shop to come get your Jira help. And I'm like, cool, Chris, what are we gonna charge? And Chris is like, $1,000 an hour. And I was like, at the time I was charging like $100 an hour. So I'm like, that was like a 10x improvement. And I'm like, there's no way in hell. Now I'm thinking,
did you try? Did you try?
Well, now 2 years later, I'm thinking $1,000 not enough for my time.
Did you try? So if you didn't try, though,
you miss all the shots you don't take, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying about the courage to do it.
You and me and Ronnie, we're gonna go charge $100,000 an hour.
$100,000 an hour? We'll get there.
I don't have the courage. I know this, but I'm saying, but that's just it, right? You could have done that to just one place, right? Because that's the best with marketing. You test it out, right? You test it out. What works, what doesn't work. You make your fine adjustments.
I will tell you
the way.
I will tell you that
we're learning the marketing.
I know. For this event, holy moly, we're pulling every stop we possibly can on marketing. But I will tell you, so I've been super busy with all the client work that I have. And so I'm like, you know what? Let me go raise these prices up a little bit. I got 4 times more clients when I raised the prices. I'm like, what the heck happened here?
Perceived value, friend.
I know.
It's a real thing, which sounds crazy. Perceived value is real, but it's real.
It was a key thing for custom charts is that for ages we were like, how low can we keep the price? Because lower price means more growth. And then as soon as we raised the price, people didn't assume we were the poor option, right? People would be like, oh, okay, so EasyBI is more expensive because it has more features. And this thing's for people that can't afford EasyBI, but we can, so fine. And then you just raise your price. And yeah, but bizarrely, of all the marketing, you could have all the badges from Atlassian, but putting your price up makes people go, oh, these guys must be worth something. Let's look into it. Now, can your app catch the checks that your ass is writing? Yeah, that's the other part of the problem. Right?
Yeah, that how is going to get you a little bit trickier. So then what happens next, Chris? So let's assume you're successful here and you scratch that itch. How do we get to the 3 comma club for Chris?
Don't want it. Like the key is to be happy where you are.
How many clubs?
The key is to be happy where you are and to enjoy the journey. Like it's amazing. Like I've been going through this actually. There's a great podcast series called the Post-Exit Paradox, and a bunch of people like me sold their businesses, had more money than they should have, and were just sad and lost. And the best way I've heard it described,
really frustrated a couple years ago.
Yeah. I was hurting. And the best way I've heard it described is I had dreams and ambitions and goals and an identity and a team and a camaraderie.
But an expensive lifestyle.
Well, but I replaced that all with numbers in my bank account, and it was incredibly poor substitute. And I just felt lost and adrift. And I've just been looking to recapture that camaraderie.
So just make enough to pay for your taxes.
And that, yeah.
But that's,
And so,
in no way, shape, or form do I think anybody can be taught that lesson apart from through experience. Because no matter hearing you say that, no matter what, I'm like, me and thousands of other people are out there like, oh, that wouldn't happen to me. I'd
What are
be
you talking
very
about? We only
fulfilled.
have 20
I'd be
people in
very
the lab.
fulfilled if I reached that. What is he talking about? And it's like getting older. You don't know what getting older is like until you get older. So you can't know that sometimes it's the real value as, where your priorities are, where you find your happiness until you go, oh, wait, it all shifted.
yeah, and I know people who like don't enjoy the journey, but they think when they reach the destination they'll be happy. No, I'm pretty sure those people won't enjoy the destination either. They'll get on the mountain peak and be like, where's another mountain? like, so that's it really. Like, just I found work-life balance for the first time in my life ever. I'm working for a group of people who I look up to and respect and seem happy and have time for their wives and kids, which is a noble thing. I'm learning to run a company without every single co-founder getting burnt out. Valuable life skill right there.
And you guys are fairly small, right? Again, getting back to my questions about the niche and about, doing what you do really well, right? What your apps are doing really well. Do you think that contributes to it?
I think so. I think, you can keep a company small, you can focus on one thing, and then you're obsessed with the problem. And that's when suddenly inspiration comes and you get a new idea and you're like, wow, that. Whereas if you're just spinning too many plates, right, it's very hard to suddenly, I mean, maybe for some people that's how they work best. But for me, it takes a lifetime to become an overnight success. And the work, grinding out the work is what then suddenly makes you just so much better. It's amazing how much hard work it takes to make a thing look easy.
Oh God, yes. Absolutely.
What do you do in the calm of the storm? Like right now, we're working like crazy 18 hours a day for this event that we're planning in October, right? And I keep telling myself Halloween is going to be like, I'm going to stop on Halloween. But deep down, I'm like, what the heck am I going to do on Halloween? When the whole chaos and madness and everything that I've worked up for the last 100 days comes to an end.
Reflect, realize how burnt out you are. look forward to the next thing.
I would also say put something on your schedule. Like literally block something out for yourself. Like,
Like what I'm saying,
I don't know if you guys ever do really actually take vacations.
We don't need to live in the place where everybody vacations.
But whatever you do though, make that time very intentional is what I would recommend to you guys. So you don't feel lost. Maybe make plans for things to do that are the exact opposite of everything you've been doing. And and that's what we all have to do throughout the year is it's just here I'm defining take a break, but for you guys specifically trying to enjoy taking that break so that you don't feel what Chris was
but that's kind of the question I have for Crystal.
Now it's all gone. Now what?
But that's the question I have for Crystal because I don't know how to take a break. Have you ever felt like that? Like, do you ever before you feel?
Yeah, but I think Sarah has much better advice than I do on this topic. So, but maybe that's it. Maybe it's hard for people who are like workaholics and used to being busy to just replace that with nothing. Feels like a scary void. So I think like Sarah's point is great. If you're an organizer and a doer, run your holiday accordingly. Plan a holiday intentionally. Don't just replace it with empty space. Intentionally plan an exciting holiday. We're excited about the details. Get the kids involved.
Go get a change of scenery. I don't care. Don't go to Disney for a week.
Disney World, you have to plan the whole thing out. You just can't show up to the mouse and go, I'm here.
Don't go to Disney for a week. Try that. That would feel like a vacation.
I'm not going on Friday and I'm already getting like all kinds of like anxiety.
You don't have to go. Go literally change the scenery entirely. I think would also be something huge.
You know what? I'm gonna go.
You're welcome to visit Thailand. No, please. I'm sorry. You should talk.
My ideal vacation, which I've been trying, Alex, to get for the longest time, is to get a cabin out in Arrowhead or Big Bear and just stay there for a week.
Perfect.
Local
Yeah.
Like I
mountains.
just want to be in the woods and picking up sticks or whatever. I don't care about.
That sounds
Alex,
That's a good
amazing.
idea.
I'll hold you accountable for that. It better happen.
It better happen.
Right?
Chris is gonna quiz me in a month when I see him.
Yep. I'll be like, so how's it going? Booked it? Yeah. But you
Booked
booked
it?
it, Kevin?
No, I'm gonna go buy the house. I'm gonna make a permit.
Buy the house is never going to visit. Oh
Yeah.
my.
I nearly bought a boat, and my dad gave me some great advice. He goes like, rent a boat every time you want to go out on a boat, and count how many times you rented a boat. And if it's more than 10, then you're in the market to consider buying a boat.
You know the quote about the boat owner's happiest days?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know, what is it?
The day they buy the boat and the day they sell the boat are the two happiest days of boat owners.
I do have really bad buyer's remorse. Like I get severe buyer's remorse
On what?
on anything I buy.
And everything.
anything.
Disneyland tickets for starters, it was $6,000 to go for the whole year. So
That's why you have to go every week. I gotta get my money's worth.
I gotta get my money's worth. It
I
was
have to go
$6,000.
twice a week for 52 weeks so that I can get my cost per unit down.
Dude, my
And I'm
kids
so
were
done with it. Like I for Teams 25 that you guys were in the Anaheim Convention Center, I went every single day to Disneyland. I'm done.
would have been happier there than at the team conference. Just saying.
So I might not come to Teams in America next year. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, me
Oh.
neither.
Well, I've heard that, like, you know, immigration are checking people's social media accounts, and
Your phone.
I don't know if you guys follow me on social media, but I'm very political and probably not with the right opinions for the current administration.
You won't have a problem though because where you're coming from.
Oh, because I'm white.
Yeah.
That helps as well. But really, like, I imagine flying, because I'm flying from Thailand via Taiwan or Tokyo, so it's a 25-hour flight. Imagine landing, having your phone checked, and then having to turn around and get on a flight back home. That would be like,
They won't. They'll just take it away from you.
what, my phone?
Yeah. So just bring a burner phone.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm online, but the truth is, it's the benefit of having such a common name. I'm kind of hidden in a shoal of fish. There's a lot of Chris.
Wait, there's a lot of cookies out there?
Loads, yeah.
You're the only
monsters.
cookie I know.
Yeah, when I got married, I was like, oh, I'm like invisible now. My maiden name, I was one of 3 in the world. And then I got married and I'm like, oh yeah, good luck finding me. You have to know something else about me.
You should make sure your maiden name isn't findable online anyway.
Right.
Like,
I know. I haven't done all of my due diligence on there, but yeah. But I'm also hopefully not doing anything that warrants any.
Yeah, Chris. What?
These days, guys, the list is a Danish tourist got turned around because he had that meme of JD Vance looking bold and shiny. And that was enough for him to turn him away at the border. So I have worse crimes than that on my phone, I tell you.
The bar is extremely low and extremely dangerous. I don't even know if I'm going to be. It's so bad that we have a rendezvous plan in case I got to go to Tijuana on the way back from Barcelona.
Goodness.
I'm just moving to Mexico if I can't get back in.
Right.
Enjoy Disneyland and Arrowhead while you can, then.
Yes. Yes.
We have a place that's like maybe 4 miles from Disneyland. It's called Tacolandia, which is like the taco version of Disneyland.
Alex, why was this not in your list of recommendations?
Right.
Because it was outside of the red circle.
Well, we'll add it for next year.
Okay, so next year's team, Chris, you kind of almost have to try to come just because it's gonna be it's Cinco de Mayo, so that's like our thing. Like you can't come.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll
it is.
obfuscate.
We'll figure out how to get them in through the other side.
We got cousins in tunnels.
Oh my god!
Imagine that, like me sticking out like a sore thumb. How badly would I get burnt in the desert? I imagine dressed exactly like this as well.
Yes.
Incredible. Just smuggled in with the coaches. And then when we're running away, they're like, okay, so 6 of the people match, the description you'd presume.
You just need to work on your more, like,
and one guy is a 6'7", very white, very sunburnt man.
And that's where
in
you're
what
going
can only
to
be
get through,
described
right?
as every color of the rainbow.
That's where you're going to get through. No questions asked.
Wish me luck. I would rather do that than have to deal with airport security at LAX at this point. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Before we close, what is the plans that you guys have at Team 25 Europe for
What can we
CollabSoft?
expect from CollabSoft
Yeah.
Ventures in Barcelona?
So we are getting involved in Dan, Atlas Advantages, Ship Happens, the event on Sunday. We're one of the sponsors. I was looking to host the after party, but Dan's been a victim of his own success, and I think like 120 people have signed up and counting. So I've just said, like, look, I'm gonna buy a few thousand euros worth of food, and people can buy their own drinks after that, because I'm tired. That money could be better spent investing in a new vendor than spending.
Or just
10K
put it on Mike's tab, right, at the Westin.
Sure. That was hilarious, announcing that I was drinking with Mike at the Westin, and honestly, within 20 minutes, a swarm, a herd, I don't know what the collective noun of VC Tech Bros is, but just a bunch of guys just swarmed into the lobby in suits and was like looking desperately for Mike.
I would love to come up with that collective term though, for what to call them then. So that's everybody's homework.
Just the guys from the
I have some suggestions, but I don't think I'm allowed to say it on your. But you've been very gracious hosts, and I wouldn't want to be rude. That is excellent, King Bob.
Bros, says Bob.
Confluence of Tech Bros. I love it. Good work.
Oh, I forgot that Bob's over here in the sidebar having a whole conversation with us.
Yes.
Or Alex to Uganda. What the heck?
+1. I vote for that. Yeah.
And technically, I guess real Mexicans don't celebrate Cinco de Mayo.
No, we don't. But it's a fun thing to do.
I'm not going to let King Bob gatekeep real Mexicans. Like,
You know, right? Like if
you guys are
think
Mexican enough. You celebrate whatever you want.
We are planning though for Team 26 to take everybody to one of the first pizza parlors ever.
What's that?
It's just a pizza parlor that's like down the street from Disneyland. But we can fit 80 people there.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about marketing on this show, and all Alex says is, we're going to take you to a pizza place. I ask for more. Give me some marketing. So maybe figure out your story, Alex. Start selling your story.
The pizza and beer walking distance from the convention center. That's all you got to know.
It sounds like a lot of features. Not hearing a lot of the benefit in the backstory. Sell me on it better.
Alex just came up with this idea on Friday.
I was sitting in that pizza parlor eating pizza before we get to Disneyland.
I'm still stuck on the oldest pizza parlor. Like,
apparently,
some Italians in the comments that will be furious.
Apparently, we looked it up, but this guy like invented the traditional pizza parlor style, and there's a restaurant by the house.
Like what Pizza Huts might have been based on?
Apparently, yeah.
Okay. So Chris, give him some marketing advice to take us out here today. So his product is selling everybody on the idea that he's gonna take us to a pizza parlor. The
pizza parlor.
Well,
if you want to drive for an hour and a half, we could go to the very first Costco.
See?
Okay, first of all, know your product. Back to Chris.
Let me analyze then the perfect marketing pitch, and this is ideal. So free pizza, right? Hook. He's understood his target audience, right? It's a clear message, right? It's not paragraphs and paragraphs. It's free
pictures
pizza.
of beer, free.
But pizza and beer, winning. But you need some controversy though, right? Because that's no offense, boring. So the oldest
Outside
pizza
the
parlor
red
in the
line.
world. Yeah, you've got a bunch of angry Italians in the comments. It is not the oldest. I think I'll
Look,
find.
it
Blah,
worked.
blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I got
People in
Bob
New
triggered,
York
so
and
I say it's a
Chicago.
win.
Blah,
It's
blah,
a
blah,
win.
blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that user-driven content will just fuel the fires, stoke the fires for ages. People will be talking about it. No news is bad news in marketing. So there you go. You'll have an online shitstorm.
I know what I'm doing. I listen to Chris's good advice.
And walking difference from the conference center, it is convenient. Your call to ask, right? It is an easy, simple one.
Yeah,
So
get as drunk as you want, and you can just still make it hopefully back to the hotel.
You could go grab a confluence of tech bros to come with you.
to apply this then to an Atlassian Marketplace, either product or services as well, the advice still stands. If I look at your website and can't find a buy now button, now you need two things, a soft and a hard call to action. So not everyone wants to buy now. Some people want to click find out more and they'll click that. But trust me, because I've been doing too much consulting and too much mentoring. If I went on 90% of your websites, I could not find how to buy your thing. It's embarrassing. And I actually recorded a Loom video of me spending 12 minutes, went from the website to the documentation, to then scrolling to the bottom of the documentation. No, it wasn't on the documentation for that app. I had to go to all apps. And there was a button to the marketplace where I then could search if I remembered the name of your app. It was not even their marketplace listing. It was just the generic homepage. At which point I searched for them. And who did I find but their competitor's app? Because they had better keyword stuff to their listing.
That reminds me. So today, somebody's like, "Hey, can you recommend a time tracking app? I want a time tracking report." Tempo aside, right? And I was like, "Yeah."
Just quickly, not Tempo, because they just deleted Old Street Solutions YouTube channel. Bad people. You're bad people. There was no need for that.
That's why
no
the
need.
Tempo aside, because we don't talk about these people. But anyway, so I make the recommendation. I'm like, I've been using this app for years. I love it. And they're like, what's it cost? I'm like, hold up. It's always got a tricky name. So let me go figure it out. I go get the name, punch it into the Atlassian Marketplace. Guess what doesn't exist? The app. And I'm like, how can this not exist? So if you are this company, Team Worklog Reports, it's kind of hard for me to sell your app when your marketplace listing does not exist.
And then they'll come to me and ask for marketing advice and have the gall when I give it to be like, yeah, we tried that and it didn't work. I'm like, cool. Probably because you suck at it. Try harder.
So while not formulaic, foundational, get those things right before you try anything else.
Yeah, well, crawl before you can fly, Daniel said.
Yeah.
Right?
One more quick question, though, for you, because I'm thinking
course,
about
yeah.
Alex and Lena here.
Oh.
How much does that collecting the data matter in the grand scheme of things, right? So they're throwing all this stuff out at the conference. So what do? Do they collect the data? Do they come back, see what works? Are you ever going to have a conference again? I suggest you probably need to do some analysis with it, but how important would you say that is?
I mean, it's absolutely crucial, but with the proviso that you need someone on the team that is enthusiastic and enjoys that. Give the right job to the right person. There are people who love looking over the data. Those are the people that should be given the data and analyze the data. Me having a data reporting dashboard is a waste of time because I'll just look at it and be like, cool. I've actually, at CollabSoft, started manually doing the reports. And as all technical companies do, they go, oh, I could, they're very smart, very technical. I could make this so it's automated and you have all the data on your dashboard. Let me know what you want. And I said, no, don't. Which is weird for a man that made
custom
sold lots of reporting dashboards. But I've realized just the process of doing it manually and going through it every month focuses me on what's important, and just the process of like looking through it and checking things and is the thought exercise and is the concentration I need. Whereas if it's just a bookmark on my tab, I open it up over the coffee, it doesn't hit as much.
I know why. Calling me though, Chris. I know why. Because it's the journey. It's not the end. You want to be on the journey of the data. You don't want to just have it presented.
Next time that Chris comes on here, we're gonna figure out a deal with your complexities of why you of your complexities instead of just picking on me and Lena.
She's not picking on us. She's trying to help us.
This is truly, yes. My whole intent here was about like offering you guys
helping us get to Nirvana
suggestions And
Alex,
thinking about
why
things.
did you take it as an attack? I mean, Sarah was giving beautiful advice, and it was a callback to several strands of the conversation. It was perfect.
It was perfect.
It was
It's Alex.
a wonderful bookend to the episode. But it's fascinating to me that Alex, as a consultant, when people give him advice, takes it as a personal attack. That's fascinating.
And that's why you're not charging $1,000 an hour.
It's my You just
And
wait.
record.
You just wait for next year. We'll crank it up to 1,000 an hour. I told my mom, I'm like, Mom, I'm gonna figure out how to print money in 2026. She's like, isn't that illegal? And I'm like,
A good benchmarking for the $1,000 an hour is I'll ask the client, what's the maximum you charge for one of your services or one of your products? And they say $10,000, whatever. I go, cool, then that's my price. I benchmark there. And they're like, what? And I'm like, well, if my work can't help you sell one more unit, then what are we doing here? Let's not waste each other's time, right?
Exactly.
That's pretty good.
Value based. We are at an hour, friends. What do we do?
I say thank you so much for having me. You guys are impeccable hosts. I love watching this, and thank you for all you do for the Atlassian community. This has been a real pleasure.
you woke up even without the extra coffee. Thank you all. I don't like to say our saying, so whoever wants to say it, say it.
I got it. So we did not choose the Jira Life. The Jira Life chose us. Bye, everyone.
Thank you for listening to the Jira Life. Our hosts are Alex, Dr. Jira Ortiz, Rodney, the Jira Guy Nissen, and Sarah, hashtag I Believe Sarah, Right. Our producers are Robert King Bob Wen and Lena Ortiz. You can catch us as we record this podcast live every Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on YouTube at The Jira Life. Be sure to join us and the other Jiramigos of the Peanut Gallery each week to ask questions, add your comments, and tell us what you're up to. If you can't join us live, you can still catch the replay on YouTube. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell while you're watching. You can also find us as a podcast on Apple iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you think this podcast deserves a rating, it would be much appreciated, as it will help others discover the Jira Life. Because we didn't choose the Jira Life. The Jira Life chose us. Thank you to Revyz for backing us up and making the Jira Life possible.